Again, it's me, Tim, out of Murderfeet, something walking, something released far more hiking videos than video game videos on this channel by now. So, it is Tuesday the 1st of August. Tuesday, yeah, I've got a week off, so I'm doing some more mileage. And this is the Riverside Gardens at Erith. Apparently it's Erith, not Erith. But, you know, talking is just a nightmare, frankly. It's just a minefield. And yeah, it's about 10 o'clock. And I've done some trains and things and cut through the centre of London during rush hour, early morning peak. Which wasn't that bad, actually. Elizabeth line seems to avoid most of it, goes straight under. Still 42 quid. Mind you, I think I might have spent about 20 quid on fuel just getting to and from here as well, so, you know, who knows. Anyway, yeah, enough about my travel arrangements. Here I am. So today, very loud sirens. I wonder if that's something I need to be alarmed about. Yes, we're at Erith, whichever, on a much nicer day. Apparently it's not going to rain much, it's just going to do this all day, so that's good. Yeah, I'm going to do some walking, 12 miles today, and hopefully we're going to finish at the Cutty Cirque at Greenwich. So today we're basically, again, following the Thames path along the bank of the Thames, in fact, hence the name. But it also turns out to be the England coast path, rather, sorry. So turned out to have been obligatory hiking after all, which was a shock and a surprise. And yeah, I'm doing this as a week off and some day trips because it's all very good public transport links to where I live, and so is manageable. But just as well, really, because there's no way I'd have been able to backpack and wild camp this whole there and back again stretch. I mean, people do wild camp in central London, but generally not as a recreational activity, and it would just feel like I was taking the piss. So yeah, day bags today, nice and easy. 12 miles, again, relatively light. I did a 17 last time from over there. So yeah, cracking on there. Today we're hopefully going to start to see the end of shoreline metal recycling facilities and start to see more landscape and architecture that is recognisably London. We'll be seeing the Millennium Dome today, the O2 Arena, whichever, the Thames Flood Barrier, Woolwich Arsenal, all sorts of things, and finishing up at opposite Canary Wharf. Canary Wharf proper is the other side and is probably a week or two ahead. So I'm going to crack on, 10 o'clock. I'm not anticipating much trouble today, straightforward hiking, but I need to be home for 7:30 because I've got stuff going on this evening. So I basically, I need to be done by probably about 4:30 today, but it's 10 o'clock now and I reckon I'll probably be there by 3. So, and that'll give me plenty of time to get home by trains and things. No car today, which is, you know, a blessing and a curse. Trains are awkward and expensive, but there was apparently train strikes stuff going on. Not major strikes, I think there's a small one as left. I think there's an overtime ban, which you'd have thought would not affect the ordinary operation of a well organised train network, but apparently they rely on overtime to make it all work. Anyway, but no, I got here alright, no problems. Not anticipating any going home either. But yeah, so basically the plan is get to Greenwich for 3ish and then tootle on home. And then, because I'm still on my week off, Thursday, 2 days time from today, I'll be doing Greenwich to Westminster. So that'll be a milestone of sorts. And then yeah, Sunday, probably Westminster and start working my way back up the far shore. And then the week after that I'm back at work again, so back to Sundays. But yes, all that over there I shall be attempting to do in about 3 weeks time, maybe 2 or 3 weeks time, who knows, going the other way, that big old hill, landfill, whatever. Right, anyway, time to get on with it. I've got none of that. Protective footwear, no, not even that. So this is Conway Erith Asphalt, according to the big sign on the roof on the other side. I thought we were going to have a problem as I approached, but no, look. Fine, clear coastal access all the way around. That's all I want. I don't want to be over in there. Looks dusty, full of gravel. Smells a bit, well, asphalt, clearly. Road surfaces mostly, I guess. It's a nice enough morning so far. I have to put the suntan stuff on in a minute. because I only have 2 shirts for this kind of thing, and I'm on the Indiana Jones shirt today, so I'm expecting random abuse from passers-by to increase today. But yes, I've got all the waterproof stuff in the bag, but apparently it's not going to rain. I mean, that looks a bit grey, but we'll see. Considering the absolute thundering I got on Sunday, that'd be quite welcome. I had to get the space heater out and blast it down into the open footholes of my shoes just to get them dry again in time for today. So but that worked quite well. Just one of those little cheapy office heaters, little fan heater thing you put on the floor with a plug. The ones that catch fire and burn places down, you know, have to keep an eye on it. Right, so yeah, I still don't know what that is, but I'm looking forward to wandering along the shoreline of it, because that's basically not Sunday, probably the Sunday after, maybe the one after that. But yeah, cracking on. As stated lots before, the idea is to get to Tilbury by the last but 1 week of September, which is about, I don't know, 5 weeks away, I think. But with this extra day trips I'm doing on my week off, I think I should get there with 2 weeks in hand, if I'm lucky, if nothing goes wrong. I'll try and keep a few Sundays free for doing things that are not hiking. Bothinia Fin. Limassol, is it Limassol? It's my eyesight. Low CO2 emission, well done you. I'm not even going to try and zoom. I can do the 1 times, that's probably safe. There we go. Loading up with gravel or unloading gravel or something. Yeah. So yeah, still quite a bit of this industrial stuff to go today, I think. I've seen a sign just now saying the Thames barrier was 7 miles away, so which is about 3 hours probably. So we should get to there for sometime at 1 o'clock-ish. A little look around and then keep going. Yeah, I think once we hit there, I mean, we'll definitely, Canary Wharf is essentially opposite Greenwich, so we'll be seeing that hove into view probably from the Thames barrier onwards, I expect. In the meantime, I shall delight your senses with large vertical concrete, something this part of the world does very well. I can smell boiling cabbage. That's confusing. And mashed potatoes. They got a canteen in there, have they? Well, I wasn't hungry. All the gantries along here. I'm guessing most of the container shipping stuff is on the north, because the north side must be steeper or deeper. This has got a fairly shallow runoff, which explains why the gantries go so far out. Seen a lot of the mud today. I think it's Bean high tide is coming in now. And so far we're up to 11 shopping trolleys, 3 mountain bikes, 1 BMX and 1 actual motorbike in the river and the mud. So I'll keep a mental tally of that for you as we go today. Alright, looks like a bit of a waste groundy bit coming up. Let's see. Crossington beam engines apparently? Don't know, we'll see. Some kind of progress going on there. Noisy. Whatever it was, it's being torn down. Some lighter aluminium based replacement in its tracks, I'm sure. Some sort of fulfillment centre or distribution hub or something going in there, I expect. Don't know what it was. You could probably find out. Wikipedia and such. Noisy. Another reason not to be wild camping here. Don't know, there's a bit of greenery down there, that'd probably do. I imagine there's a lot of rats here. I know, the one behind is already an Amazon. Oh, who knows? Maybe it'll all be Amazon one day. The grim future of Cyberpunk 2024. Neo London. Just all Amazon depots. Everyone sits at home like in Wall-E. Look at all that rubble. Okay. One for you JCB fans out there. Yeah. Not sure what that one is. Noisy. Busy, relatively new. Still a bit grimy. Seen lorries going along that bridge though. So obviously unloading or loading something from somewhere. It's barges, I guess. Doesn't look like any big boats on there. Interesting. More metal recycling, I shouldn't wonder. Seems to be the thing around here. Yeah. Seen signs saying 9 1/4 miles to Greenwich. So, you know, it's not even 11 o'clock yet, doing well. Could be a short one today. No bad thing. Just have to stop and corporate more stuff. Oh, I like that one. Very stylish. I mean, you can make anything environmentally friendly if you put wavy lines in its roof structure. I mean, it's probably some sort of incinerator. And looking at the top middle, probably an incinerator that's malfunctioned quite badly. Looks like there's been a big fire. There would have been gouts of flame coming out the side there. Well, unless they painted it to look, I don't know, tarnished. It's got kind of pewter chic. I don't know, I'd have to look at what that actually is, but like I say, whatever it is, it's probably caught fire fairly recently. No one's been up there with a pressure washer. I don't know. The roof seems, I don't know, I can't really tell. I mean, I don't want to risk a zoom, frankly, but I'll have to go and look that one up at some point. But yeah, I don't think it should be that kind of soot colour on the top middle. Very localised. I mean, there are some chimneys poking out there. I mean, maybe it just vomits black smoke occasionally. I don't know. Oh look, here's some information. Exploring the Thames path. Erith marshes. Oh, but bits in braille. Very accessible. I'm not sure how you'd equate that to an actual landscape there, but we got that building. What's that building? Number 2, Crossness Sludge Powered Generator. Dried sewage sludge is burned to generate renewable energy. Yeah, I don't know. I like it architecturally, but I have to question its function. What else have we got? It's always nice to have some kind of actual guide of what I'm looking at. Number 7, Ford Dagenham Motorworks. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I see. I'd heard of this place. Big employer, industrial action, unions, something. I'd only heard of it, I knew no details. Well, there it is. Big old place. It's quite old-fashioned. I don't know if it's in business or not. Again, we're probably going to get the best view of that from here rather than the day we actually go on that side of the river. So we'll have to trudge around that past a chain link fence somewhere. Right in. Oh, and a context map as well. Right, the dot. Crossness. Oh, who knows? There we go. Westminster Tower Bridge. Not today. Greenwich. That's where we're aiming for today. That sort of loop there. Crossness. I think we're somewhere around here then. Yeah. Oh, you are here. Oh, I'd made better time than I thought. Okay, so we've got a bit of a loopy bit there, and the Thames barrier is in between. Right. Let's do it. Phone this number for more information. Let's do it. My God, the sludge is out of control. Shut it down. Code red. Oh yeah, you can put as many coloured plastic panels on as you like, but it still smells horrendous here. That sort of a sun-dried human effluent sort of smell. That mulched up combined domestic refuge to the point where it's been so mulched and combined you can't pick out individual constituent parts anymore. Yeah. Oh. But then you got a load of these along here as well that they put up, like, you know, 2 decades ago, and panels about how birds and fish are quite important and what sort are nominally supposed to live here. A curious juxtaposition that I'm hoping to get upwind of quite soon. All part of the same complex, the Crossness Engines Industrial Museum. Looks all a bit boarded up. I mean, there's a lot of cars parked there, but it could all just be staff. Chain link fence panelling over there. I mean, not sure if there's anything you can actually go and see, or whether this is it. Guess you can always check online. Yeah, I got a feeling this is probably the creaking Victorian infrastructure that most of our contemporary water companies blame their poor performance on. I think they did a bloody good job considering they designed it 100 years ago for about a tenth of the population. 150 years more like. Seems to mostly be doing the heavy lifting for modern day infrastructure. There you go. Oh. I haven't seen the river in a while. I assume it's still there. I assume it's something you can go and visit. Probably not the entire site. It's a bit better kept over on the far side there, maybe that small building in the back's some sort of museum. Yeah. In the spirit of just keep walking and you'll find out, here we go. Passports for information. Pumps untreated sewage into the Thames. Right. 1833, 25,000 Londoners died of cholera. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all very fine and elaborate, but essentially it was there just designed to move shit about. Yeah. I expect they have more sophisticated techniques today. Well, I mean, you'd hope so. Woolwich Foot Tunnel. Oh yeah, I'd heard about this. Maybe that's the crossing that the English Coast Path does. I don't know. Oh, I don't care. I'm going to Westminster and back, and I don't really care what the ECP does. I'll pick it up on the other side. So yeah, this is Thamesmead. All a bit residential over there. Back in amongst the houses again, and new view. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to try a zoom and we'll see how badly this goes. So that is Canary Wharf. Famous skyline, which is probably off your screen now. Let's try moving up to there. Is that on your screen? That's me lining up on the bottom of my screen. You can see the blinky pyramid light. I'm coming back out. Don't trust it. So you see on like The Apprentice and stuff, although I doubt Alan Sugar's headquarters is in that big pointy building. I think it's probably in some industrial estate over there or something. Wow, look at that, that looks quite Soviet. Didn't think we were building those anymore. I thought those turned into trouble over a 20 to 30 year span. Still, folks will live somewhere, I guess. Lost that big mountainous hill on the far side, so that's good. But yeah, I think we're coming into the city proper, sort of. I mean, that properly looks like London over there, finally. So yeah, good. So we'll see I think we go around the bend at the end there, and then we see the Thames barrier, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, just like big old cyclable promenade, pretty much all the way to Big Ben now, I reckon. I think we're probably done with large industrial complexes. Oh, that's 2 motorbikes. Add another one. Right, stride forward to victory. Good view. Might take a photo. Yeah, I'm going to have a sit. Stare at some rubble for 10 minutes. Splendid. It's quite quiet along here though. I'm seeing a lot of bikes. The National Cycle Route number 1 sort of weaves in and off of this thing, so and step out of the way. So we've got plenty of room though. Yeah, I mean it is, 11:30 on a Tuesday, so I'm expecting this to be teeming with pedestrians, tourists and stuff, visitors. That's that's another flood barrier, isn't it? Guillotine arrangement. There's a lot of clearance on it. Yes, there must be relatively tall boats have to go through there at some time or another. Don't even know what river that is. I guess we'll find out in 2 weeks' time. So you have to try and work out how to get around that river. Probably there's some inland thing, but then I doubt you're allowed along the shoreline past all that crap anyway, so I suspect we'll be inland detouring extensively on that side. Good. Yep, still on the right path. Feet are okay. I mean, it's only been 2 days since I did 17 miles, so. But then it's sort of simulating a normal backpack week, but without the big backpack, so I ought to be able to cope with, you know, 4 one-day hikes in a 7-day period. Not extensively lengthy either. So that 17 on Sunday was as long as it's going to be until September again, so the rest are 12s and 8s and 10s and things. Thought I'd break it up into smaller chunks just to harden myself a bit more easily. Noisy. I suppose you get used to it already. Soundproof windows. Yeah, good. Yeah, swinging south a bit, and then we're going for another western straight bit. Coming up on Woolwich, I think, somewhere along here. Still in Thames, I think. I think that's London City Airport over there. That's the only reason I could think that they left a big gap in the building skyline there. Runways must point out along there. I've seen some quite low, big jet aircraft coming down in that sort of direction, and we're far too far from Heathrow for them to be going that low, so this must be it. Old large dockyard inland lagoon thing turned into a small airport. Quite a small one though, sort of regional, I think. Not nearly as busy or mad as Heathrow and Gatwick. I think we're going to be spending a good part of one of the upcoming days trudging along the fence of that airport at some point, and we come back along that way. We'll see. Yeah, indeed. Oh, and a bit of sunlight. Right, yeah. Yeah, it's starting to look a bit cityfied now. A bit less heavy-duty recycling cranes landscape. Yeah, that gherkin in the distance, I thought I saw. I don't know, we're probably a bit far away from the centre of London stuff. That's still another 10 miles beyond Canary Wharf, which we can just sort of see there. So the way to go before we get to Big Ben and stuff, Shard and whatnot. Let's keep at it. So this is the Royal Arsenal at Woolwich. Which seems to mostly be gentrified flats at the moment. Occasional cannon lying around on the lawn. Hopefully there's a pub or cafe or something nearby, because I could do with a sit down and a lemonade. Getting on for lunchtime. Powered by lemons, generally. Very impressive waterside skylines now. It's going to be like this pretty much all the way. Proper London Thames. This is what people think of, I think, when they think of the Thames, not that sludgy drudgery we've spent the last couple of days doing since since like grain. Oh, some sort of ferry there, I think. Not here, though. It's over there. It looks like boarding ramps. Might be a car ferry. Not sure. I know there's a foot tunnel under here somewhere. That might be where the coast path crosses, but I don't know. I've decided to go to Big Ben because, you know, I'm here anyway. So let's do it. Good. Right, looking for a pub now. And a bit of a sit down. Can I assume he's meant to be that low, this close to high-rise flats and things? Yeah, it's almost certainly an airport or a crash. Enormous guns, weird three-quarter cast moulds of people. With genitalia. Yeah, okay, I'm going to tell you right now, we're coming into the sort of country where there is just interesting things to gawp at every 10 steps. I'm really not going to get them all. So I'm just going to give you a quick taster and smorgasbord of London, and you'll have to do your own research if anything catches your fancy or you feel like I've missed anything. So that's the Woolwich Pier. I don't know if there's a passenger ferry from there, maybe? I don't know. Alright, well, I'm going to need to keep moving. That cafe doesn't look like it has toilets. which is my real ulterior motive for wanting a cafe at this point. Not many hedges you can go in, really. Keep looking. Let's move that way. Interesting. It's just the core of one going up there, look. The middle. These are all still very new. It's all being developed. Inspired living. It's a very loud airport. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Some sort of floating pontoon? I don't think it's a car ramp. It should be. I can't see a ferry at all either. Matching jetties, but no actual boat. There you go, just keep walking and you find out. So that's been closed until 3rd of September, so now for about 2 months or so. Off to some dry dock somewhere, I guess, no boat. So that ordinarily is a vehicle ferry, yeah. There's the embarkation ramps and stuff, so those blue things were ramps, yeah. But the boat's just gone. So it's a good job I didn't need to cross here. Spectacular planning as usual. Right, we carry on along here, I guess. Keep heading towards the spires of commerce. It's very 80s landscape. Yeah, some sort of steppy, bridgey thing over a wall. But, good view, bit of elevation of the massive sugar works. Tate Nile there. I guess it's sugar. Not sure what else they make. Munitions? I don't know. Very noisy. You've got all this promenade and benches and stuff, allowing people to sit and have a contemplative, quiet moment staring at the noisy sugar factory. Seems a bit out of place given all the other high-rise residential stuff all over the place. Oh, there's what it is. So it's the Thames barrier. We're going to see that in more detail as we get closer, but here's a sort of distant view. There's one of them up. There's a series of different islands, each has a sort of raisy barrier in between them. One of them looks to be up. I don't know why. I mean, it kind of doesn't work unless they're all up. Oh well, that's where there'll be a sign. Let's go and have a look. Now, I'm not a nautical man. That doesn't look right. I wonder if my marine traffic thing will tell me what that is. Alright, so we need to look at down there. We've got to go this way and then inland a bit, but then I think we rejoin up at the barrier, so let's yeah, get a good look when we get there. Oh, is that those yellow bins from that recycling plant they were loading on the cranes? Maybe they get them from central London and take them downstream to deal with them. I don't think I'm lost. Sure looks like it though. I think I'm going over there. Let's try that. Here we go. Postcard from the Jerry Anderson timeline. The Thames barrier, Thames flood barrier. A series of little islands in avant-garde shapes. I saw a lot of this when I was growing up in the 80s. Mostly on John Craven's Newsround and Blue Peter. It's quite a modern thing back then. Nowadays I think it just sits here and gets on with its job. They must know with mathematical and astronomical precision when they need to raise and lower it. Looks like they've got some of the blades out just over the water just to have a look at them or something, but inspections. But yeah, that rotates. You see the black sort of semicircular thing there, that rotates round. That whole thing goes underneath and sits flat upside down on the bottom of the river, and then raises up 90 degrees to make a wall when it's needed, I guess. Although I'm not sure what happens with the bridges on each side, because this is still a river. Fine, you've got a big tide coming upstream from that way lies the North Sea. So you go, okay, and you know those blockhouses we saw at the Darent River we had to cross either side of, and the one across the river from earlier today, all of those are all on a coordinated network. They all get shut at once, tide comes up here and then just sort of wallows about, goes back down again, I suppose. But all the time that's happening, this is a river. It's a very large amount of water coming from like Oxfordshire downstream through here as well. So if you leave that thing up too long, that's going to flood the other side. It effectively becomes a dam, floods the whole of Canary Wharf. So I don't know, yeah, it has to be quite a precise business, using it and using it by how much and so on. Maybe you can set it in such a fashion that stuff from upstream can spill over the top and maybe stuff from downstream can't. There's a whole visitor centre up there, but I gotta keep moving. I thought it was a cafe. They did have a toilet though, so life is good. I keep looking for a cafe. Could go for an ice cream or a lemonade right now, but we'll see what the Thames throws up. Oh, the Widowmaker closed off. It's a nice little park here as well. As I say, all it's missing is a cafe. So it is sort of 1 o'clock on a Tuesday, so unless there's a school trip coming through, not much custom, I shouldn't think. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get to see it in action. I mean, like I say, it's a very known quantity, the tide generally. So I don't think there's a bloke, you know, in a booth hovering with his hand over a red button. You know, it's probably quite specifically scheduled. We could probably find out if we wanted to when it was next going to be raised. Impressive though. I love the stylings, the sort of neo-30s aerodynamicness of it all. There's no reason it should look that shape at all. It's not like it doesn't need to be wind resistant. It just looks cool. Right, let's keep moving. We're doing well. Thames Barrier. I mean, Greenwich is not far away from here. In another hour or two. It's only 1 o'clock. Yeah, it should be done by 3, definitely. Good. Shiny. Saw a sign back there that said that this is now the Thames Path National Trail that I'm on. And then it goes 180 miles upstream to the source of the River Thames, which I probably don't want to be doing. So I'm going to have to work out where to turn. Okay, I've given up trying to predict what comes next. So, refreshed, ready to go, a little bit of a sit down and lemonade, it's all good. So, we're heading on to the Greenwich Peninsula now, which does a sort of big loop, and then at the other side of the loop is basically Greenwich itself. Cutty Sark, the big park, the Prime Meridian, etc. Yeah. Within hours we'll be in the Western Hemisphere again. You can make anything sound important if you try. So maybe this is a building site? I have no idea. Bit grubby. Let's move on. Losing track of what's on what side of what actually. I think all of this is on the left side. I think we're going around it. Ah, yeah. Look. Hang on. Let me do a partial zoom that I think probably still works. So there's yellow struts behind that weird textured building. That's the Millennium Dome. O2 Arena. There's your Arab Emirates Skyway cable car thing. Yeah, well, we're going right past all that, so we'll see in a minute. Cool. Blimey. Getting a kind of Kowloon Bay walled city vibe off of this thing, but it looks quite modern and clean. It's much bigger than I am, so I'm feeling quite insecure. Let's keep moving. Blimey, how did we end up here? Well, when it is all crashing waves on rocky shorelines and wooded cliff sides, and now this. Someone's slaying a hydra over there. A sculpture. And serene skylift chairlift thing bobbing along. That's a bit Jerry Anderson, I'll give him that. Probably easier ways to cross the river though. Right, we'll go around the back of this big pointy one, and then I think we'll see the Millennium Dome, which I can't keep calling it that because the Millennium was 23 years ago. O2 Arena, whichever. starts to literally blow my mind, you know. I start to actually have trouble comprehending some of what I'm seeing. Simple country boy like me. Well, that thing doesn't hang around. Giant headless treant type creature. Why not? It's all just flats. Probably quite pricey ones too. Wouldn't even want to hazard a guess how much any of these are. Ah, good. I'm just gonna try and retain my wits and keep moving, I think. It's like another planet. Yearn for a Cornish coastline about now. I appreciate the art. See? Just keep walking and you find out. Quantum Cloud by Anthony Gormley, galvanised steel, circa 2000. Ah. Questions whether the body is produced by the field or the field by the body. Well, this is not adding to my cognitive distress in a positive way. So there it is, the O2 Arena, formerly Millennium Dome. I mean, I don't know, I've only ever seen it on telly. Just not sure my psyche is equipped to cope with something that physically large. Cantilever, essentially it's just a giant circus top, but with a great many more cables and spars. Much larger surface area. Apparently you can pay to go on a walking tour up and over it. There's like a walkway that runs over the top. I'm not sure which angle we can see that from, can't see it from here. I think it's like £100 a ticket or something though. So we won't be going over the top of that today. But yeah, just ease, enormous. Alien mothership on an extended parking spot. Outstayed its welcome. I don't know, the storm tried to tear the lid of that thing off. It's all sort of high durability canvas or some sort of plastic. But yeah, during particularly powerful October storms, bits of it come off, have to be replaced. I guess it's used for large rock concerts nowadays. I think when it launched it was like a giant natural history museum of sorts, bodyworks exhibition, etc. But yeah, just pop concerts I think nowadays. Yeah. Okay, here we go, going to try to zoom again. But look, I told you. Didn't make it up. They're even wearing hard hats. Seems dangerous. And expensive. I think it's the little tiny row of 4-storey buildings in the front there that blow my mind, you know. There's a site, that is an edifice, that is. Monument to, I don't know what, commerce? Prosperity, capital? I mean, they're mostly banks, those buildings. You got there Citibank, HSBC, Barclays, State Street. No, those just the ones who've actually put their logo on the side. Yeah. I don't know what to make of it. Does anything need to be made of it? Just is. Like Manhattan. Small slice of. Evening, officer. It's a bit of a hurry. I don't know, it's coming round. Is it me? Should I be running? Maybe he's just practicing. Right, on the home straight now anyway. I've got to come down off of Greenwich Peninsula down to the Cutty Sark, which is somewhere down there, Greenwich Park itself, and then that's probably me for the day. Early bath. Should be good. Actually, so what it's actually going to be is 2.5 hours of trains and things to get home. I have to go through there, to connect to the Elizabeth line through there, I think. Go under the river. We'll see. As long as I can grab a big bag of snacks before I start, I should be alright. I think that might be Journey's End. Big set of fancy buildings which I remember are next to the Greenwich Park. Is it a college of some sort? Observatory? Or is it the observatory on the hill? Anyway, so just around this bend through all this inexplicable sudden cement works, and then coast around the residential bits there, and then we're done. So I can see the actual Cutty Sark. I think it's just slightly to the far side of that lot. Okay, cool. Oh, there we go. Oh, let's try zoom then. Hang on. About 3 times. Is that stable? That's right. I think that's in the middle. I do. Whether it is or not, it's another matter. Anyway, that's the Cutty Sark. That's where I've chosen to draw today's line in the sand, which is half a mile away, probably, if that. Just need to negotiate these delightful riverside property blocks. And that abandoned power station looking structure over there. And then whatever happens with that big white palatial looking building on the waterfront there. It looks magnificent actually. It's obviously Greenwich something, Royal Society, Royal Observatory. The observatories, that might be the observatory itself. Oh yeah, that's why I think it's in the middle of the shot. Hang on, if I put it up there, can you see that now? I don't know. No idea what's going on with my camera anymore. Anyway, onward. Wow, really? Huh. I guess it's deeper in the middle than I thought. Unusual sight. Well, they all went from Southampton and things. Not moving? It's not moving, no. Parked up. Lovely. This is magnificent. That pub on the end is bonkers too. So many flags and flowers. Fantastic. Well, we're basically there. Cutty Sark just through there. Let's get there and do the roundup. The Viking banners about the place. It's making me nervous. Starting to worry about the safety of my livestock and women folk. I think it's something to do with that. It's Viking cruises. I'm queuing up, presumably to get back on their boat. After having wandered around here. That's an old Royal Naval College. I looked it up. And of course that is the Cutty Sark. There's the clock tower. Don't know where precisely the prime meridian is. It's somewhere around here. At some point we've crossed into the Western Hemisphere, so that's nice. Again, regular viewers might remember me crossing into the Eastern Hemisphere somewhere on the coast near Brighton, but there you go. Oh. And we're going to cross back again when we do Canary Wharf next time. Zigzag. So yes, I'm gonna stop here then and go and find some food. I'm going to find a supermarket or something, load up. Thanks for following me so far. I really don't know why. Anyway, yes, so I have tomorrow off and meet back here Thursday, and we'll continue that way about 8 miles and go look at Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament and things. So we're still unbelievably not anywhere near the centre of London proper. You can just about see the Shard there though. So anyway, see you next time.